What's up guys, I'm Chris and today you're watching a magic review on the Easy Writer by Franz. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. If you haven't, please consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss a video or review. Also, don't forget to join the Chris Edwards Magic Secret Access group over on Facebook. Alright, so today we are looking at the Easy Writer by Franz. It's been a while since I've done a review. Basically, Canada Post, our Canadian Postal Service, was on strike for 2 months. So everything I had coming was delayed by 2 or more months because things got so backlogged. So we got stuff again. We're going to be doing some reviews and should be back on track. Now, with the Easy Writer, I am going to show you guys what it looks like if you haven't already seen it. Chances are you probably have. I talked with Franz. He was cool with me showing the utility tool. Penguin had already exposed everything in the trailer. He just asked that I don't expose what it looks like in the thumbnail. And really, you know, I don't even think showing you is exposure at this point, because if your participant thinks that you're secretly writing something, whether it's pocket writing or using a thumb writer or a nail writer, they've already made up your mind that you're secretly writing with something. It really doesn't matter to them what it looks like. So in using these, the key is to make it so that they don't think that there's any way that you're writing something down secretly. All right, so the Easy Writer is a thumb writer. Now, in my opinion, this is the best version on the market that you can get. I've used everything from boon writers, Swami gimmicks that fit under the nail, thumb tip writers, band writers, the invisible writer, and this by far outweighs all of them. So what do you get? You get the box that it comes in. There's not a lot, right? It's the box that it comes in. You get the Easy Writer, and then you get the tutorial link. So the Easy Writer looks like this. Now, it's a bit of a different design than the other ones out there, and there's a few reasons for this. It's made in a plastic that is malleable, so if you want to size it differently, warm it up. I'm not saying use like fire or anything, but in the tutorial, Franz suggests always having this on you, on your person. So maybe in a pocket where it stays like at body temperature, because that's where the plastic is going to be able to mold best and you can manipulate it. You can also take out the lead and put it in some warm water, and then, you know, that gives it more of a permanent fit. Now, it's very easy to slip on and slip off. Right, it goes on and off very easily in your pocket or wherever you're having it if you're holding it out somewhere. But anyway, that's what you get. So this is what it looks like. Now, the design here, this part actually acts kind of like a spring. So what's nice about that is when it's on, when you're writing, you actually feel, you know, you have a better sense of touch on when your thumb is coming into contact with the billet or whatever you're writing on. So nice little addition there. And then overall, it's just a really good fit. You have a lot of control and it's easy to get a good read out of whatever you're writing. It comes out very clear, obviously with some practice, but yeah, this has been the easiest to get used to and to get good with. So very, very good thumb writer. So what's the quality? The quality, I think this is as good as it gets. Whatever the plastic is, it's very durable and, like I said, can be manipulated and molded to fit perfectly for any thumb size, whether it's big or small, even without warm water or having it close to your person. It's very easy to bend, and you can see now it's a lot bigger. Now it's really loose in my thumb. Give it a little push, and it's back to a perfect fit. So very easy to adjust. Tutorial. So the tutorial, I don't remember quite how long it is. It is quite lengthy. So Patrick Redford, he goes over everything. He teaches you how to use it. Now, even if you are familiar with thumb writing and you have used them in the past, I would still suggest watching the tutorial. There's 3 really good routines, but then on top of that, a lot of Patrick's tips on how to get good with writing, how to practice, different ways of holding your billets or whatever. It's all very valuable information. He also has a lot of subtleties and nuances that help with really making it seem like there's no way that you could be doing this, right? That you're not using anything secretly. So the handling tips are all very, very good. The tutorials or the routines that you're going to see, there is a 3-digit prediction. There's also one called Jack's routine, which is 3 phases. The first 2 phases you get wrong. Now, it's not complete miss. It's you get close, and each phase you get closer until in the end. In the 3rd phase, it's a perfect hit. Now, this works out well because you're working with your participant, so it's not like it's a challenge, or it's not just like, hey, I got your number. You're trying to send the number to them. They get close in the first one they're off 2 numbers, but the 2 numbers that they're off, it's close. They get 1 right, and then the second time, same thing. They get 2 numbers right, 1's close, but it's off, and then the 3rd one, they get it. And it's good for both you and the participant because it shows kind of that teamwork. And then finally, the 3rd routine is it's an envelope routine, and it works kind of like a chair test. So lots you can do with this, and then obviously all your existing routines or work with thumb writers can easily be applied. Difficulty level. So obviously with something like this, whether it's this one or other thumb writers, nail writers that you've used, there is some practice, right? It's not natural for us to pick up something, stick it on our thumb, and be able to write well with it. So there is some practice with this, but like I said, I've used different thumb writers in the past. So when I got this one, it was a very quick transition to get good with it. And I think if this is your first one, it's probably going to be the best in terms of getting good with it quickly, because it is very comfortable and easy to use. Angles. So angles with this are good, right? You obviously don't want people beside you or behind you where they can see what you're doing and what's on your thumb, but anybody in front of you and kind of 45-degree angle, they're not going to see anything. Now, with that said, once you get used to handling this and writing with your thumb while holding a stack of billets, you can do this down at your side. You don't have to have it right out in front of them. Now, I mean, it's good if it doesn't go out of sight, but you can kind of work with your angles in that sense too. Setup and reset, there is really nothing. You throw this in your pocket. You can slip it on very easily in your pocket, come out with it, you're good to go. The only thing that you'll ever have to do is switch out the lead, which is also very easy. There's a little hole in the back where you can put a tack in to kind of push the lead out, and then you just put a new piece in. It doesn't come with refills, but that's something that you can easily pick up at any office supply store or Amazon. You basically make one purchase and you are set for life, because you're getting a whole bunch of lead sticks, I guess, for lack of a better term, that are about that long, and you're only ever using a piece about like that. So you get many, many refills off one purchase, and then what you put in there is also going to last you a long time, because you're not writing a novel with this, you're just writing like a short word or a number. Now, with that said, words are a bit harder. So they always recommend to start with numbers, get good with that before you move into words. Can this be inspected or examined? No, because they should never know that you're using this, and they should never see it or even suspect it. Pocket space, minimal. Very, very little. You can throw this in your pocket with whatever else is in there. It's not really going to take up any additional space, so that's nice. Who will use this? This is a mentalism tool, so obviously the mentalist, but also if you tie any kind of mentalism in with your magic, this is for you. And is this practical? Is it a worker? Like I said, the ease of use, the convenience of how easy it is to slip on and take off. Like, this is easier to put on and take off than a thumb tip. So I would say that this is great for a working situation. This is a great opener to kind of work your way into your mentalism set, but it's also a very powerful tool to use midway through. I don't know if I would use something like this to ever close a set or a show, but it is, depending on what you're going to do with it and the routines that you come up with. Obviously, this can also just be a section of a bigger routine, right? Or an addition to something as like a kicker ending. So I think this is great for the working magician and mentalist. Now, what I usually do, and this won't be for everybody, but I'll have this on. Well, I won't put it on yet. I'll have it like finger palmed. I'll say I'm going to write a prediction or something along those lines. I'll write something down. Right, and obviously I'm not really writing. And then I'll kind of make a joke, like I'll say, how many days are there in a year? And they'll say 365, and I'll say, see, I knew. 365. I knew you'd say that, right? And that's just a joke. But then I put that off. And the reason that I kind of do a little bit of a gag there is because it kind of sets things up. You know, you're writing something down, but in doing that, that little gag there kind of takes the heat off anything serious. So people aren't taking you too seriously. They're not going to be burning your hands or anything like that. So next I'll say, okay, and then I'll go for real this time. And then we write something down. Set that off to the side. And then I'll ask them to think of a 3-digit number. Now, just for example, say they say 728, right? I'll talk with them for a little bit, and as I'm talking with them, I'm doing the writing, right? After I've talked with them, I always keep this in full view. I'll slip this off, right? And then I'll set it down and I'll put it on the table, right? So I'll get rid of the billets. I'll put my hands in my pocket, get rid of the writer, and this will be there. So then I just talk a little bit more. There's some time misdirection, and then I'll kind of come back to like, what was the number you said again? They'll say 728, and then that's when I'll reveal that I have the number down. So, and you can see there, it's pretty legible, right? So very easy to use. Now that's just something that I do sometimes, not all the time, but that first little, obviously I know how many days are in a year, so that's kind of a joke, and then they don't really expect you to be secretly writing anything at that point, and you get a perfect hit. Now with something like this, that's where Jack's routine, where you miss the first 2 times, kind of, it's good because this can almost be too perfect, right? You don't want to continuously ask them to say words or numbers and then just boom, boom, boom. It's perfect every single time, because then it just seems too good, right? And people can get suspicious. So yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of different ways to go about this and things you can do. So what's the price, and is it worth your money? This is extremely affordable for what it is and how powerful it is and how good it is. This is $20. So it's comparable with other thumb writers. I think it's even less than a lot of thumb writers out there. And like I said, I think it's the best one out there. So definitely worth your money. Positives and negatives. The positives, I've already listed all of them. Negatives, I don't really have any. I did see some people in the Facebook group, which you should also join if you purchase this. It's in the PDF too, the name of the group. So check that out. People are sharing a lot of tips and routines in there. Some people were a little bit disappointed that it didn't come with refills, but like I said, do a one-time purchase. You're probably good for life. And the only other thing is there's no tutorial link, right? So a couple people had a hard time getting access to the tutorial when they purchased it from anywhere other than Penguin. Mine came from Penguin, so it was already in my account. So maybe in future packaging, they'll put the link on here somewhere. I'm not sure what the solution is to get the link if you've ordered it from outside of Penguin, but just contact Franz and he'll definitely be able to help you with that. With that, I think, no real negatives to the product itself. It's great. Just a couple things that I noticed some others mention on the internet, so I just thought I would mention them. But for me, I couldn't find any negatives. So with that, I think that kind of covers everything that I have to say on the Easy Writer. Definitely recommend picking this up if you're new to this, if you've never used one before, or even if you are like a seasoned pro, you're probably gonna like this one better. So anyway, with that, thanks for watching, and we will see you at the next review.